If I embezzled $400 million from the state account, I'm just looking at a slap on the wrist?
Looking at 50 months and a fine of 7,500. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah. And even if I do multiple charges, I mean, it's not going to stack as far as the time. So
the time doesn't stack even
No.
if it was like multiple loans.
yeah, I mean, the goal of this investigation was probably to obtain the money and bring it back to the state. And then they would probably get a slap on the wrist afterwards.
So let's say you caught me. $20 million that I owed the state, but I don't have that money. What would the state do about that?
That's a really good question. There's two ways of doing it. They'd probably take whatever assets you have to try to equate to 20 million. If they don't, then I would assume you would get billed or fined that much money.
Okay, different scenario. I took $20 million, but I paid it back, and you still found out I did it illegally. Then it's just a slap on the wrist.
Correct. Yeah, if the money's paid back, I don't think we need to civilly seize it because it's been paid back, but you'd get embezzlement still as a felony. You get 50 months.
But what about the assets? What about the assets said people bought with that money?
Correct. So if the way the contract was done, or they embezzled money from the state using the loans, and they were able to obtain,
there's no contract.
So how do I know they're embezzling the money? I thought you have to,
because they work for the company, right? So I hire Baas on to work for my loan company. He's giving himself loans with zero contract, zero interest rate, zero.
But the loan doesn't have a contract.
Zero collateral. I don't think it does. I'm not really 100%.
No.
How are they doing this? So are they just pulling out money from the company then?
Yes.
So there'll be transaction history.
Yeah, and right after the transaction history, there's a purchase of, let's say, a vehicle or something of that, like literally after.
We can seize that civilly. We can file for civil
even
forfeiture.
if they paid the money back.
Correct. Yes, because we can articulate and assume. Not assume. Sorry. Convince a judge that they obtained that loan illegally through legal means. Even if they paid it back, that asset should be brought back to the state because the purchase of that asset was not done legally.
Interesting. Okay.